What's up, LFA Nation? Welcome to the Legacy Fighting Alliance number 211 on the LFA Fight Network on YouTube. Ron Kruk, joined as always by the former Strikeforce and WEC lightweight champ, Gilbert Melendez, and we are thrilled to bring in this man, New York's own in the house, the former champ, Aljamain Sterling. Aljo, great to have you here tonight, my friend.
I'm excited to be part of the broadcast.
We're excited to have you, man. I see you came up prepared, too. We'll get to that in a minute because we're going to take some time with that. But, you know, I just first want to ask you about, here we are, the LFA, pretty much in your own backyard here tonight. It's a bit of a drive, but in New York, in Salamanca. And what are your thoughts about this promotion as you've seen so many guys from your gym move from the LFA to the UFC?
I think the big thing about LFA, it gives you that big fight feel. So when you get to the UFC, it just doesn't feel too different. You know, you kind of get accustomed to the lights, the bright lights, the walkout, everything, the crowd, the energy in here. It delivers, and that's what you're going to get when you get to the UFC, you make your debut.
Yeah, and how about your teammate that's competing on this card as well? Pumi, let's talk about his matchup. Let's talk about him, your experience working with them. And is he ready for this moment you're talking about?
Oh, 100%. We call him Kid Turbo for a reason, man. He's got super fast hands, really good wrestling, great fight IQ for the level that he came into us with the gym. No experience yet, just a wrestler. And he's really developed his whole game into a predominantly well-rounded MMA fighter.
And he's got his hands full tonight with one of our former champions, Cody Davis, coming in 10-2. Break down the matchup and how you see this going, Aljo.
So just from us watching tape on his opponent, on Cody does a great job of coming forward, putting the pressure on you, trying to get you to the cage, utilizing those takedowns, and doing a good job of controlling. Not a whole lot of damage, and that's the one thing that we made sure we pinpoint. We got to do damage when he's not doing damage, the in-between moments, and that's going to be the key to getting our hand raised in this. And I think Pumi, he's got to let those hands go when he looks for those shots, look for his openings, and try to pinpoint something right down the middle on his chin.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to celebrate here in a minute. I saw Gil, you were already going for
I was ready to look at eyeballing that right there.
My baby.
Aljo, let's talk about this this rum, this passion project for you, and break it down for you. It looks fantastic. Can't wait to try it.
So we have two brands, two SKUs right now. We have an aged rum, it's a limited edition, only 5,900 bottles made, and then we have our white rum. This is our workhorse right here. It does a great job mixing with anything. You can drink it straight, drink it on the rocks. No additives, no preservatives. That's the main thing, no food coloring. And with that said, we only use select Jamaican distilleries to craft this nice, tasty Jamaican rum.
Funk Harbor, I love it. How can people get a hold of a bottle? Because I know they're going to want to.
Yeah, we have a few liquor stores in Long Island that we're in, my hometown of Unionville. And then, of course, we're online at funkharborspirits.com.
Okay. Has this been a passion project for you for a while? Like, is it just come to fruition? I see the smile, man. I mean,
you know what it is? MMA and sports in general has this taboo of athletes shouldn't drink. They shouldn't do any of these other vices. But for me, it makes me feel better in my camp when I have a little bit of a drink here and there. When I know I've gotten to a point in my cardio, it's at the top peak, and I'm like, okay, I deserve some. This is my reward, my nightcap. And then it gets me ready for the next day.
You know, sometimes I say too healthy isn't the best way to go, right? Yeah, too healthy isn't, but you got to let loose a little bit. You know, why did we choose rum? Why have all the spirits out there? Why did we choose rum?
Well, I'm glad you asked. My parents are from Jamaica, from Kingston. And, of course, I love my Jamaican heritage. We drink a lot of rum when I was a kid. My great-grandparents are from the Dry Harbor Mountains. That's where the name Harbor comes from. And funk is the flavor profile of most Jamaican rums. That's what we are. This kind of what we're known for. It's kind of synonymous. So we have Funk Harbor and, of course, my nickname, the Funk Master.
Yes. Can't wait to try, man. End of the night.
Tequila guy, you going to be okay
yeah,
going into that world?
Yeah, absolutely.
Whiskey guy, I'm
absolutely.
100% in.
I'm converting my tequila drinkers one by one into rum drinkers. Everyone who's tried it so far, they don't make a face. They don't need a chaser. They're like, wow, that actually went down really, really smooth.
I love it. Funk Harbor Rum. Write it down. Check out their website. All right, guys, we are excited that Aljo is with us as we kick off the preliminary bouts here at LFA 211. There are our matchups. Three undercard fights coming your way, beginning with a lightweight matchup between Kevin Carrier and Dave McIntosh. Should be a good matchup. Then in a key middleweight bout, Jake Woodley tangles with a fight vet David Gladfelter. And we will wrap up the LFA 211 preliminary bouts with a welterweight tilt between unbeaten Farman, Hasanov, and 3-1 Will Lewis. Let's get the action rolling here. We are at the Seneca Allegheny Resort and Casino. We check out the tail of the tape powered by OnlyFans. Kevin Carrier, 32 years old. McIntosh is 5 years younger. Both athletes are 6 foot even. Carrier is 1.5 inches longer in the reach, and McIntosh came in heavy and will have to forfeit some of his cash money to Carrier. To kick off LFA number 211, here is the voice of the LFA Octagon, Mike Kendall.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live on the LFA Fight Network on YouTube for continuing preliminary action here at LFA 211. We are now set to go for 3 5-minute rounds in the LFA lightweight division, brought to you tonight by OnlyFans, where creators earn. And now, introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner. This mixed martial artist stands 6 foot tall, weight in 157 pounds. He holds a professional record, 2 wins, 1 defeat, with both wins coming by way of submission. Representing Real Deal Martial Arts, fighting out of Hot Springs, Arkansas, Buckshot Dave McIntosh. His opponent across the octagon, fighting out of the red corner, is a Rex Kwon Do style fighter, standing 6 foot tall, weight in 155.8 pounds. He holds a professional record, 3 wins, 1 defeat, with 1 win coming by way of knockout and 1 by way of submission. Representing Synthesis Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, fighting out of Rochester, New York, Kevin Carrier. Your referee, Matt Rocca.
All right, we went over the rules in the back. Protect yourselves at all times. Follow my instructions at all times. Got the gloves out of the way. Back to your corners.
LFA, a lightweight action. That man, Kevin Carrier, just 3 months after suffering his first loss as a pro. Western New York's Kevin Carrier looks to bounce back against this man, Dave McIntosh, who is making his LFA debut. He scored a win just 41 days ago. McIntosh with the blue tape and Carrier with the red.
McIntosh ready in the southpaw stance. Looks like he has the range. Look for him to fire those kicks.
It's a bit of a feel-out process right here.
Low kick from McIntosh, the blue belt in BJJ. Won an amateur title back in 2024. And Carrier, very well-rounded. Love that he calls his fighting style Rex Kwon Do. Shout out. Purple belt in BJJ. Also 4-0 in pro grappling matches. We've
Nice
seen Carrier throw his hands as he just did there.
Now, I know this is trying to establish the hand fighting for the range, but I would like to see one of them start utilizing some feints, or both of them, to really open up those strikes. Clean body kick from Carrier.
Absolutely.
We'll switch the stance.
Carrier corner asking for some powerful leg kicks. Carrier 3-1, got 1 victory via knockout, 1 submission, and 2 submission victories for Dave McIntosh.
Carrier's got that right hand tucked right by his chin, ready to fire across right down the middle, especially against the southpaw. He looks for that kick, it comes right down the middle. First clinch exchange.
McIntosh has Carrier up against the cage wall. Under 3 minutes to go, opening round.
This is always a tougher position than people might be able to appreciate, because it just looks like 2 guys grabbing each other, but it's a big fight where a lot of energy gets expended.
Well said. And a huge moment. If McIntosh can get this takedown, huge for him. Carrier can neutralize it. Feather in his cap.
Kind of sets the tone.
Able to fend off the takedown for sure for right now is Kevin Carrier.
And like you said, Aljo, a lot of work getting this body lock, trying to go to the single, back to the body lock. Almost needs to just go for it or bail, maybe.
Yes.
You know, take a little risk.
Kevin's doing a good job attacking the body here and any type of openings that he could get. And I think that's the main thing you got to do. When a guy's just tying you up, he's got his ribs exposed, he's reached out, he's extended, and I think that's the best time to land those body shots. If you're not going to get any takedowns, then you might as well start doing some damage and looking for that.
Absolutely, scoring points. The judges love it. Tactics from the champ.
Love it. Great insight as we hit the 1 minute 45-second mark, opening round. Make sure you are following the Legacy Fighting Alliance on all social media at LFA Fighting. Restart in the center of the octagon, and McIntosh now letting some kicks and going to the body.
Nice too by McIntosh landing. You know, Carrier, his last performance was pretty outstanding, except I felt like he didn't pull the trigger enough. He kind of let the fight slip away, won the first round, and let his opponent kind of get momentum, and could have went for the kill, I believe. You know, and I'd like to see Carrier take a little bit more risk, because he's definitely talented.
Yeah, that was a tough decision loss. Was in control of that fight, Gil. You're exactly right. Was battling through some injuries, we learned. But he said he's 100% healthy for this matchup, looking for his second win inside the LFA octagon.
Now we see Carrier in the clinch position on the outside, looking for the offensive attack. Good strike off the break.
Yeah, very clean. Now McIntosh back and Carrier off.
I like that long combination from McIntosh. To me, that scores better points. 3 punches, ends with the teeth. Less tit for tat and more trying to establish dominance and really sell it that you're trying to do some damage and score some points.
Carrier fighting out of Rochester, New York. McIntosh coming in from Hot Springs, Arkansas. Ooh.
Such a close round. These guys got to take a little more risk just to show that they want to win.
Horn sounds, and we will enter into the round number 2. You are watching the LFA 211 preliminary fights on the LFA Fight Network on YouTube. If you haven't done so, you will want to sign up at UFC Fight Pass for LFA 211. Huge main card tonight. Women's bantamweight strap on the line, Abia Mosqueda and Sierra Dinwoody.
So much faster. I think striking's a big advantage. I mean, if you get on the ground, if you take out there, take it. You can't just let him melt the time on the clock on the page, right? He's got to let your hands go. Start letting your hands go. You're going to touch it. You get space.
So I got 2 former champions here in the booth with me, Gilbert Melendez and Aljamain Sterling. Guys, very close first round. Put you on the spot. We'll go with Gil first. Who'd you give that first round to?
That was a very tough one to score. It was virtually identical. Both guys landing some strikes. Both guys attempted the takedowns out there, but I thought the longest combination was for McIntosh. I'm going to give it to McIntosh that round, but it could have went either way. I think both these guys need to step on the gas pedal a little bit. Carrier's corner, you heard them. They said, let your hands go, let your hands go. I think he needs to let his hands go and listen to his corner.
Aljo, what do you think?
I agree 100%. He's got to stand out a little bit more for Carrier if he wants to make sure it's convincing that he secures the round. But very, very, very close. Both of them had clinch moments. Both of them had strikes off the break. A lot of outside fighting, calf kicking, and you see a little bit more of the longer combinations from McIntosh.
Great breakdown.
And I could say 2 of the judges out here might have gave it a Carrier. We don't know. It was very close and competitive.
Close.
That's just our view, our perspective. That's how close that round was.
McIntosh making his LFA debut comes in with a 100% finishing rate. Both victories coming via submission. Both wins via rear naked choke.
I like that Carrier from the conventional stance is constantly circling to his left, just staying a little safe and really trying to time that rear kick of McIntosh to land that straight punch.
I was expecting McIntosh to come out looking more for the grappling, being that he has two rear naked choke finishes.
Exactly.
I kind of felt like that was his game coming into this, but it's been mostly a striking affair so far from both these guys.
Great point. You wonder how long it is until McIntosh shoots in and tries to take down. Oh, Carrier catches the kick and unleashes some heavy shots.
A little showmanship, talking to his corners.
It's a Carrier talking to McIntosh a little bit in that first round. Carrier won 3 titles as an amateur. Here comes McIntosh, ripping body shots. Another one.
Big shots from McIntosh right now.
Carrier needs to defend himself.
Those are the big moments there that win you the round. Just that flurry alone, I'm in awe of it. And so are the judges, so is the audience. Got to go for those longer combinations.
And now Carrier unloading some elbows as McIntosh looking for that takedown. That was a big offensive onslaught, though, from Day McIntosh.
Oh, sneaky
elbows. Now, Carrier did some great work in the clinch just now, but I think he still needs to get back some of that momentum, what the judges saw that looked like an onslaught, you know, him covering up against the cage. You want to make sure you get that back.
Absolutely. And his coaches like what they're seeing. They just want more of it. He has some great moments, just more of it.
First of 3 preliminary bouts here on the LFA Fight Network. Nice. Oh, Carrier attacking that lead leg.
Chopping it down.
Then goes up high.
Oh, nice shot from McIntosh.
This is where the feints would play. They would pay so much dividends right here. Because now you're setting it up, making him think you're going to come in, and then you can look for your counter attack off of his counter. Nice inside leg kick. Again, McIntosh on the offense again. Close round again, but I think McIntosh is definitely ahead. Big feint, that's what I'm talking about. Opens up the hand so much better.
Great point. 1 minute to go, second round. Head kick blocked by McIntosh.
Crowd is getting into this one.
Yeah, great crowd. Seneca Allegheny Resort and Casino.
Carrier keeps getting him towards the cage, but he's got to open up with the hands. 3 to 6 punches, something like that.
It'd make the difference. And it's not like he's not landing. He's having great moments, just not following up, almost letting the opportunity slip away.
I agree. Good left hand from McIntosh again.
Yep.
And then a good answer from Carrier.
Under 10 to go, second round.
It's heating up. Oh!
Very close round again.
Absolutely. The judges going to have their work cut out for him in this one for sure. Back and forth. Kevin Carrier, Day McIntosh. 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific. LFA 211 main card kicks off on UFC Fight Pass. Here's the action, guys.
Carrier with the straight. Both guys exchanging. Here's McIntosh's onslaught. Just keeping that eye contact, letting his hands go. Up top, hook after hook, rolls it, closes the distance. Some more action here. Carrier off the clinch, lands one elbow. Wish he followed with the 3-2-3.
Yes.
But lets the opportunity slip away. I think McIntosh, the spirit of this fight has been he's been taking advantage of the opportunities a little bit more than Carrier. And Carrier's created some great opportunities, but just hadn't taken advantage of them.
Yeah, based on how they score round 1, I think Carrier might need a finish here.
I agree. I think McIntosh is up 2 rounds to none. Barely. Great fight, very competitive. But just a like I said, taking advantage of the opportunities a little bit more.
See who can turn it on. Third and final round, Kevin Carrier and Dave McIntosh. Kevin's wife, Carly, works with us here at the LFA. Backstage and social media interviews. All part of the LFA family. Carrier looking to erase the memory of his first professional defeat. Dave McIntosh looking for a win in his LFA debut.
McIntosh doing a great job of just kind of asserting his dominance a little bit. It just kind of shows that he's the one in control of the fight right now.
Yeah, you could tell in his movement, he's feeling confident, feeling good. Oh my goodness, he has his guillotine here.
Yep.
Attacking Carrier's neck.
Carrier does a great job defending. These elbows are scary.
Oh man, McIntosh taking some damage now.
I think Carrier's doing better in the clinch situations, but it just doesn't look optically well in the eyes of the judges unless he's landing big damage, which he was doing, but it just depends on how they're scoring that.
Both fighters not showing much damage. Nice jab from McIntosh. Follows up with a kick to the ribs.
Oh, good return answer with the right hand from Carrier.
But again, this is what you both have been talking about. You want to see him follow up.
Follow up, man. That 3-2 after would have probably landed and done some damage.
Calf kicks from Kevin Carrier.
Great feint. Now where's the follow-up? See, McIntosh is feinting, and Carrier's not really reacting to it, but that's an opportunity. If the opponent doesn't react, that means you can go.
Dave McIntosh training at Real Deal Martial Arts. Did some cross-training with former UFC vet Gilbert Smith at Victory MMA in Colorado Springs.
It's a good gym.
Absolutely. Gilbert Smith, one of the best. Just past the midway point, a third and final round, LFA, a lightweight division. First of 3 preliminary bouts coming your way on the LFA Fight Network on YouTube.
Carrier needs a big moment, man. I really want him to try to make something happen, not let it slip away. McIntosh is I think is ahead. I think he's playing smart. I think he knows it. I think his corner told him.
Yeah, I think Carrier needs to flip the switch.
He's so good, having really good moments. Just want to see more out of him.
Well, he's got 90 seconds to do something big here.
Well said. Does have knockout power. 1 knockout of his pro career, but he scored 4 KOs as an amateur. Dave McIntosh looking very comfortable in his LFA debut, and I think we got an eye poke.
Yes.
Carrier on the receiving end of that. Roca talking to Dave McIntosh. Kevin Carrier will take a minute. Let's take a look, fellas. Oh.
Classic poke of the eye.
Right in there. Zoink.
Boom. Yep. Open hand.
That never feels good.
Oh, God. I'm sure. 1:19 to go.
Good old Ric Flair right there.
Oh,
you know, I used to poke people. I use the stiff arm quite a bit. It's like a Muay Thai technique, and you use the stiff arm, and you're trying to do the palm out, but as it happens sometimes, you know, you poke the eye.
Looks like Kevin Carrier's okay. Take a few more seconds to regroup. Mind you, at the top of the hour, the LFA 211 main card going down on UFC Fight Pass. Stacked card. Co-main event, could be a main event. Aljamain Sterling's teammate, Bhumi Nakuda, taking on the former champion in Cody Davis.
Huge
That's a main event on most cards.
That's a huge fight.
Yes. Two big prospects.
Absolutely. Winner of that one will definitely get on the UFC's radar. Oh, and now McIntosh.
Now we got a firefight.
Yeah, letting his hands fly a little bit as we're approaching 1 minute to go. I think he can taste it.
But this is what I'm talking about. McIntosh fainting. If Kevin's not respecting and not reacting, he gets an opportunity to open up. Kevin's got to find the in-between moment to try to land something to intercept, to interrupt his combinations with McIntosh.
McIntosh seems to be finding his rhythm and looking for.
He wants that takedown
sure
so
does.
bad.
He picks up.
Oh,
Right into a guillotine.
put himself in trouble. 30 seconds.
Carrier's got the neck in the guillotine attempt. Under 30 to go.
With 30 seconds.
Are you
left.
kidding me, guys?
That's crazy. That's the moment we were talking about.
Comeback from Kevin Carrier.
Wow.
Walk-off submission for the New Yorker.
That is crazy. You can see the look of disappointment in McIntosh's eyes right now.
100%.
He wanted that takedown so bad the whole fight and got it at the end, but the repercussions was the guillotine.
Sometimes you don't need it.
You don't need it. He didn't need it. That's gonna hurt McIntosh, man. That's gonna hurt tonight when he's in bed. He's gonna, you know, he's gonna probably yell some words out. I've been there.
Oh, what a comeback, though, for Kevin Carrier. We all had him down 2 rounds to nothing. Just suffered a poke in the eye. And
Watch here,
let's check
Carrier's
it out.
landing these elbows in the takedown attempt of McIntosh. But these are big moments, big elbows. They really discourage you from wanting to go for the takedown. Now right here, he blocks the leg with his right leg. Then he goes for the takedown. He takes him down right into the guillotine instead of
right
getting
into it.
outside of Carrier's left leg to kind of clear himself out of that guillotine. And he was stuck, man. This was dead to rights.
That was a quick tap, no doubt about it. That was tight, and Kevin Carrier finishes Day McIntosh. What a comeback for Kevin Carrier. Let's now get the official time. We go inside to Mike Kendall.
Ladies and gentlemen, your referee, Matt Rocca, calls a stop to this fight. 4 minutes, 34 seconds into the third and final round, declaring your winner by tap out to the guillotine choke, Kevin Carrier.
Western New York's Kevin Carrier quickly erases the memory of his first professional loss, begins a new win streak tonight, scores his second career submission win. And guys, just quickly, that was one to remember.
Absolutely. The Hail Mary was thrown,
Well
and
said.
it landed. Oh, my goodness. What a great fight. And
back and forth and improves to 4-1. Aljo, Day McIntosh just came over and talked to you. What did he say?
He was just talking about the friendship between me and Marab, and really loves the character just from the two of us, and just sticking it out and sticking to our guns, and now we're both champs.
That is very cool. The 27-year-old Day McIntosh, that was his MMA debut, or his LFA debut. He'll be back, and big win for Kevin Carrier. Gets that walk-off submission win with time winding down. For only the third time in LFA history, the women's bantamweight strap is up for grabs when 2 unbeaten square off for the belt. When 10-time Jiu-Jitsu world champion and LFA Fans' Choice Awards Female Fighter of the Year, Bia Mesquita takes on Canada's top prospect and winner of 4 straight, Sierra Dinwoody. Here's a preview.
I have the goal to be the best, as I was in my jiu-jitsu career. I'm Bia Mesquita, BJJ Lady Gold, and I'm fighting for the bantamweight title tonight. I'm 10 times jiu-jitsu world champion in the gi, ADCC champion, no gi world champion many times, so I lock up myself as the best of jiu-jitsu, that's why.
Oh, goodness. These are dangerous exchanges from Mosquito.
Each fight I bring improving more my striking, and that's something that I feel that's really important because I cannot just counting on my grappling. I know it's gonna happen at some point at the fight, my grappling, my takedowns, but I'm not gonna rush for that. I feel confident on my feet.
Walk-off submission via Mosquito.
Very first Brazilian bantamweight champion in LFA. Like I said, right, my name is on the books. I'm achieving it with a heavy back that I have, everybody helping me out, all the Brazilians cheering for me. It's just amazing. It's gonna be one more mission accomplished.
This is exactly where I want to be and need to be, and I think it's going to be an amazing night tonight. Hey everyone, it's Sierra Dinwiddie here. I'm fighting for the LFA Bantamweight Championship tonight. Check it out. My father told me, you know, the harder you work, the luckier you get, and that's how I try to approach everything I do in life, fighting first and foremost. So it's a beautiful opportunity, and we're going to make the most of it.
This is one of his recordings, and she said she walks out to it at every opportunity.
It is so special for me to be able to walk into this championship fight with my dad's music playing. Feeling the energy that he brings is such a beautiful thing.
Oh, spinning back fist, and Dinwiddie drops her.
Having this showmanship, I feel like, is important. You know, I mean, I want to have fun with this. This is something I love, and just happy to be here and happy to have the opportunity. But that smile goes away as soon as that bell rings.
Fighting out of Stony Creek, Ontario, Canada.
Being from Canada and being very proud of where I come from, I think it would be absolutely incredible to have two Canadian champions fighting with LFA, and I can't wait to get it done tonight.
That is your LFA 211 main event. Both Bia Mesquita and Sierra Dinwiddie are fighting in their first MMA World Championship fight. Both athletes spoke about the biggest fight of their young MMA careers.
I think the most challenging thing is her height. She's super tall and long. I think that's something it's not like easy to find around, you know, like she's like, she can reach out like.
Yeah, she has
really
about
aware.
a 5.5-inch reach advantage on you in this fight.
Exactly. So I have to be really aware about the distance, you know.
I'm going to use my length to the best of my ability. You know, I'm blessed to be almost 6 feet tall. So if I don't use it, that's a waste.
I faced a boxer, a karate, you know, and I don't think that nothing's going to change for Sierra. I've been improving a lot my striking.
I've prepared myself to the best of my ability to, you know, to not get stuck in deep water with her if I can help it. But I'm excited to have the chance to see what it's like to tango with her. So we'll see who sinks and who swims.
That is your main event as we check out the LFA 211 fight odds. Bia Mesquita minus 315 favorite. Comeback on Sierra Dinwiddie plus 265. But Gil, we've called a bunch of Bia's fights, and this is the shortest odds we have seen. So the odds makers are definitely thinking Sierra Dinwiddie could be a threat.
Absolutely. Dinwiddie standing at 5'11". That is a problem for anyone. Long ranges, long knees. We know Bia Mesquita wants to get the takedown and close the distance, but she's going to have to go through the long limbs of Dinwiddie.
And there's your guy, Aljo Pumi Nakuda. He's coming in as a big 6-1 favorite against the former champion in Cody Davis, plus 425 on the comeback.
Yeah, that's big, man. That's a tall pecking order for Pumi to walk, right, against a former champion in Davis. So it's going to be a really competitive fight. I'm surprised that the odds makers have him that big of a favorite, but I think that just shows that they're watching and paying attention to what he's doing.
I'm glad you said that, because that's not much respect for Cody Davis at plus 425.
Right?
I might take some of that if I was a gambling man, but I'm not.
Gilbert Melendez is going to move
fight.
that line again tonight. All right, we are set for our second preliminary bout. We check out the tail of the tape, powered by Brunt Workwear. Jake Woodley is 26 years old. David Gladfelter at 32 is 6 years his elder. Gladfelter is 3 inches taller and an 1.5 inches longer in the arms. Both athletes made the contracted weight for this middleweight matchup. Back inside, here's Mike.
Fight fans, this contest is scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds in the LFA middleweight division. Brought to you tonight by Brunt, the hardest working brand in workwear. Check out all the gear at bruntworkwear.com. And now, introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner. This Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu style fighter stands 6'4", weight in 185.8 pounds. He holds a professional record, 6 wins, 3 defeats, with 1 win coming by way of knockout and 5 by way of submission. representing Nick Catone's MMA, fighting out of Toms River, New Jersey, David Shogun Gladfelter. His opponent across the octagon, fighting out of the red corner, is a wrestler standing 6 foot tall, weighing in 185.8 pounds. He holds a professional record, 4 wins, 1 defeat, with 1 win coming by way of knockout and 1 by way of submission. Representing Jackson Wink MMA, fighting out of Albuquerque, New Mexico, by way of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Jake Woodley. Your referee, Todd Anderson.
Gentlemen, over the rules in the back. Protect yourself at all times. Obey my commands at all times. If you wish to touch gloves, do so now. Back to your corners.
Are we sure Woodley is 6 feet tall?
They would never lie on the tail of the tape. Jake Woodley representing Jackson Wink MMA. Got the great Greg Jackson in his corner tonight. David Gladfelter making his debut. Training out of Toms River, New Jersey. Nick Cantone MMA. Ron Kruk, Aljamain Sterling, and Gilbert Melendez with you. Our second of 2 LFA 211 preliminary bouts.
Gladfelter 6'4", Woodley 6 foot, allegedly, as he said. Gladfelter already using the distance, staying on the outside, moving nicely.
I love Gladfelter's trunks, kind of like a boxer-esque kind of a feel with his name on the back.
Beautiful
Woodley right away
takedown.
on the takedown.
Oh, nice.
Cut the angle on that. We call that a double twist.
Good old Mark Kerr back in the day used to do that one.
Yeah, good timing.
Gladfelter getting back to his feet.
I feel like hand control has been a big thing in MMA lately. People getting back to their feet, but letting that wrestler, that grappler, keep those hands clasped. I thought Leon Edwards did a fantastic job against Kamaru Usman that second time around when he was able to really break the grip. Or maybe that was the third time around, actually, where he did a great job of not letting him lock his hands.
Third, yeah. It was
third time around. Very great job at that.
Well, this is a Jake Woodley, a blue belt in BJJ, but 5 years he wrestled at Oklahoma, finished 6th in the 2021 NCAA National Championship, and he helped OU win the Big 12 Championship in 2021.
That's some serious wrestling pedigree. Standing on national NCAA D1 podium says so much.
And he just now hits a beautiful Renzo Gracie takedown right off the cage, splitting the legs with his left leg.
And that's why I think you see Greg Jackson in his corner tonight. The coach sees something special in this kid, only 26 years old.
You know, Ron, I was thinking the same thing. When I saw this youngster walk out with Greg Jackson in his corner, you know, he's on the prelims, you know Greg sees something special for him to make that move.
100%.
Gladfelter, though, looking for that anaconda here with those long arms, maybe.
Possibly. Looks like that's what he's trying to set up, but he's got to watch out from the takedown, the reshot from Woodley. And as I say, he gets it.
On cue.
Absolutely. Great timing there.
He's got a nice Khabib triangle of the legs going on right now from Woodley. This position, a lot of guys I find in the gym when I'm coaching or watching sparring, guys feel like they're almost trapped. But there's a few specific things you can do to get back to your feet, and Gladfelter just did just that.
Absolutely. Back on his feet, but not out of trouble.
He's a little high right now, a little loose with the back take attempt. But man, that wrestling pressure.
Relentless, right?
Yes, he's going for it. Can he run it again? And the cage keeps him up.
Woodley.
But he dumps it.
Little bit of a scramble. Gladfelter hanging on.
This gets you tired.
Wow. The power of Jake Woodley.
It's one thing to defend one takedown, one thing to defend two, but when he keeps chain wrestling like this is what gets you exhausted. Gladfelter looked like he's like, okay, let me catch my breath a little bit before I decide to go again.
Absolutely. Jake Woodley is coming off his first loss of his career. He lost by anaconda choke in just 57 seconds back at LFA 198, but now he's throwing some heavy fists.
Beautiful mixture of riding, wrestling, and landing some ground and pound. Not overcommitting to his strikes, making sure his opponent does not get up, spirals him back to the floor. back in superior position.
I'm impressed with just the patience. He's just a young kid at 26 years old. You know, a lot of times you'll see some of the kids just
go crazy,
go nuts, right? Yeah.
Not understanding and recognizing the situation.
I will say, though, I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say Woodley's doing a good job of looking for the ground and pound and then looking for the control when he needs to. And now here he's going for the damage again, and now he's back to control. That's hard to beat.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Relentless pressure from Jake Woodley here in the opening round.
But as we saw in the last fight, the fight's not over till it's over.
It's so true.
And Gladfelter is not exerting too much energy on getting up, and Woodley, the wrestler. Wrestling matches are 7 minutes for a reason. It's tough to push that wrestling pace, that explosive pace, for 15, 25 minutes. You have to not only be a wrestler, you have to be a grappler. Woodley is showing that, though, landing in side mount, but it does become harder and harder to hit these takedowns. You can't lean on your hands. Oh, I know.
It's only round one.
Only round one.
David Gladfelter, 3-fight win streak, 100% finishing rate, 1 knockout and 5 submissions make up his 6 wins.
And managed to not take too much damage. Definitely fatigued, though. Definitely fatigued after all that wrestling. Both gentlemen.
He needs to recover right here. This is going to be a big minute. Now we see here Woodley doing a great job of having that far side wrist control, landing those big left hands underneath the armpit of Gladfelter. Right before he laces the leg and looks for that takedown, that patented Renzo Gracie style takedown.
Looks real familiar to me, Aljo. Looks like you out there, baby.
And look at this, as he cuts the corner, he runs it. The cage keeps him up, but then he cuts the corner, sits it, pops his head out, and then finishes the far side double leg. That's wrestling right there. DC, where you at?
Somewhere DC smiling for sure. Jake Woodley.
Got those Albuquerque lungs right now, I bet.
Yeah, elevation.
Well, he was also a 2-time Pennsylvania state wrestling champion. So you start there, then you're going to the Big 12 and wrestling at Oklahoma. I mean, what an amazing wrestling pedigree. See what David Gladfelter has in store for Woodley. Round number 2 scheduled for 3, LFA middleweight division.
I like to see Gladfelter kind of try to establish that jab, keep that range. He's got such a long reach, his legs, his arms.
Second fight of 2025 for Gladfelter. Second fight in 76 days. Again, as I said, comes in with a 100% finishing rate, and now he's
putting some stank on those strikes.
So he kind of saw that takedown coming and see if he can neutralize it. Here's that chain wrestling.
So Gladfelter's doing a good job, but he's got to stuff the head. He's not stuffing the head, allowing Woodley to cut the corner and get his head inside. And right here, he spins around beautifully into guard.
Man,
I could watch this all day.
That was impressive. From half guard now, Jake Woodley. The speed of Woodley is just so impressive. Drops some hammer fists.
And this is exactly what we were talking about, the in-betweens. No one went to posture up, look for damage, and no one went to control. And I think that's what makes it a fun fight and a fun fighter to watch. We'd like to see if he can figure out a way to kind of close the show, though. You know the bosses are always wanting that.
Oh, yeah, they're watching.
Absolutely.
They're like, all right, you're great here, and let's get this finish. Again, binding that leg in, making Gladfelter carry all his weight.
Gladfelter's got to get a 2-on-1. I see the 1-on-1, but he's got to get the 2-on-1 to really establish control to defend.
And circle your back off that cage ASAP with
Turn,
urgency.
look for a knee right here. He should be getting
engaged.
He's got to be stuffing the head. He's looking for that choke again. It might work, but it's a risk. If you get taken down again, you got to start all over. All-American finish, Iranian. Oh, he cuts back to the double again.
Yeah, I think Gladfelter, anytime he has an opportunity to disengage and create space, he needs to jump on that opportunity and get away from the grappling at all costs.
Follow the LFA on all social media platforms at LFA Fighting.
One hook in, two, nope, one hook in. Now
And plenty of time to operate.
But this is where Gladfelter was able to reverse him the last time. Let's see if he can do it again.
Oh, nice RNC. Slip that in.
Great transition from Woodley.
That's a position over submission mentality, which I prefer, to be honest. Don't want to lose that position. Maybe short time, I'll go for the sub.
See right here, Gladfelter's got the one hand attacking. He's got to look to control that and stand up so that Woodley doesn't get the hooks back in. Just being the taller man, now we're seeing he's able to use that height. Yeah, he's carrying his weight, but he's not going to be able to secure a tight enough position because it's going to be too loose. This is what I find when I grapple with those taller guys.
Right.
Right here, look at this one-on-one. But he should be getting two hands to that wrist. That's going to be the difference.
Woodley pulls him back down to the canvas. Coming up on 1:30 to go in the second round.
I think the height's giving Woodley a little bit of problems with maintaining that back control.
Just recycling this pattern, though, over and over, taking the back, letting him go to his back, trying to maybe get the arm triangle, maintaining control.
I don't think grabbing the leg, I think that's a mistake.
Here it is, one more time, has the vine in, back, he's gonna bail out, come up on top. There it is, there it is.
This is where he needs to live. This is where Woodley needs to live. He's got the full mount now.
Yeah, staying true to the pattern, juggling. This time was able to climb the ladder a little bit more. Now he's in mount, arm triangle.
It's locked.
Has one victory via rear naked choke, one submission win.
Gladfelter answering the phone. We got 38 seconds here. It can get done.
Hello, who's on the other line? I never seen someone punch like that from that position. It's actually clean strikes. See right here in the turtle position, he's got one hook in, he pulls him to the side. He should be looking to try to get those hooks out, trying to maintain control so he doesn't get the choke attempt and put himself in danger. Here he scrambles. Can he beat him? He beats him to the position. Gladfelter now on top.
Time winding down, though.
Little victory for Gladfelter with 10 seconds left.
If I'm Gladfelter, I'm getting up and just trying to throw strikes.
Great point, right? Disengage and try to score some points.
10 seconds left, that's all you can do.
Stop grappling the grappler.
That's what we want.
Coming up at the top of the hour, the LFA 211, a main card exclusively on UFC Fight Pass. Get to UFCFightPass.com and sign up today. Big deep breaths from Jake Woodley.
Here we go, big kick to the leg. Gladfelter trying to make a difference in the second round. Another big kick to the head. Checked by Woodley, dives in. And like Aljo was saying, man, this chain wrestling is great. Not just stuck on one takedown. Dumps him to the side. Gladfelter trying to scramble with him. Needs to disengage more. Woodley's happy that he's scrambling with them. Ends up on top. And here's that revolving door, taking his back all round. Landed some strikes. As Gladfelter puts his back on the mat. Woodley always coming on top until the end of that round. Great grappling from Woodley. Gladfelter needs a KO to win this round.
Hanging in there, though. Yeah, absolutely. Needs a finish. Jake Woodley coming off the first loss of his career. Looking to begin a new win streak tonight.
Yes, let's see what the approach is from David Gladfelter. Establishing the range, using a lot of feints. But I think he's jamming himself up again.
Oh, did he clip him?
He clipped Woodley. I think so, Gil. As Woodley shot in quickly, gets a single leg.
See, that's a good tight waist right there from Gladfelter. Now he needs to chest wrap and pull his legs back up from underneath him. And we're back here. I remember this chapter.
Yeah, it's hard to think that something different's going to happen. Gladfelter needs to get out now. If he doesn't, it's just going to be very hard to think that it's going to happen later on in this round.
Okay, now he's in a full guard. I don't know if he needs to play jiu-jitsu, but in my opinion, he needs to try to get back up to his feet. Maybe look for some elbows off of his back to try to fluster Woodley a little bit so he doesn't get a chance to rest, and then try to escape once his hands come off the mat or off of his hips.
We saw one last-second walk-off submission as time was winding down. Could David Gladfelter pull off a Hail Mary here?
Definitely never say never.
Right now, Jake Woodley is in control.
Gets that 2-on-1, looking to put Gladfelter's hand behind his back. Disengages.
I'd like to see Gladfelter start framing, shrimp out to try to get some space, put his those long legs on the hips, push off and get back up to his feet. I don't know, he might be a little too tired to really even do that at this point.
Yeah, you just feels like Woodley's climbing the ladder, just getting higher and higher in the sequence. You know, sometimes the sequence gets halfway through and Gladfelter is able to disengage or reverse, but Woodley now, look at halfway through the third round and he's in the position he was at the end of the second round. That arm triangle may come through by the end. Anticipating him to walk backwards, suck him back, take us back, let him roll out, back to the arm triangle.
I'd like to see Woodley just pull out his right arm and just look for some big shots, big punches in this turtle position. Like, we know he's going to get back to his feet, but if you can land some big shots and crack him a few times, then go back to the takedown, rinse and repeat. That's a path to the finish.
And as you both stated, the finish being the key. That will get the attention of the big bosses up at the UFC if you're able to finish.
Same dump, third time in a row, third time this fight. Looking to get that arm triangle with that head under the armpit as he passes to mount position, driving forward. There he is, locking his hands. Pummels his head to the inside. Maybe content with some ground and pound here, opening up. Slams him back down.
Exactly what you just said, Aljo. Greg Jackson just saying, rinse and repeat. Let's go. Keep it going. Keep doing what you're doing.
Right here, big shots.
One hook
it just seems to be too hard for him to maintain that back control. That length of Gladfelter is just, it's very difficult. I find the same problem with these tall, lanky guys when I'm grappling. But right here, this is a key, yeah, big punches right here.
Under a minute to go, final round. Gladfelter back on his back.
Now he dismounted. Is he going to get it this time?
Locking it up, 30 seconds. I like that Woodley is opening up with this last minute left.
I like to see him put his knee on belly just to kind of keep him still. And then it would be a little bit easier to maintain that control to get that final finishing touch for that head and arm choke.
This is about when Kevin Carrier pulled off the submission, but Woodley backs up and will rain down some bombs as time is winding down.
Finishing off strong, letting his hands go, but still playing it smart, bringing his opponent back down to the mat.
Oh, that was a big shot. You saw him wincing.
Horn sounds, and Jake Woodley, a dominant performance here in New York tonight. Looking to start a new win streak after suffering the first defeat of his professional career.
Woodley's impressive. He's an impressive fighter.
Physical specimen.
A specimen out there. Obviously a wrestler turning into grappler, turning to mixed martial artist.
Yeah.
Guys with that mentality who are willing to scramble and exchange. Definitely has a solid future ahead of him.
There's Greg Jackson and David Gladfelter, who came in riding a 3-fight win streak. You could see the frustration on his face. Just didn't have an answer with the relentless wrestling attack from Woodley. Judges have added up their scores. We go back inside. Let's get the official decision. Here's Mike Kendall.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards, and all 3 judges score this bout 30-27 for your winner by unanimous decision, Jake Woodley.
Former University of Oklahoma wrestler Jake Woodley easily bounces back tonight after suffering a loss of his MMA career. He is now 5-1. Main LFA 211 card on UFC Fight Pass coming up at the top of the hour. A couple of former LFA champions return to the cage tonight. Here's a preview of this loaded LFA 211 card.
The LFA storms back into New York as the Seneca Allegheny Resort and Casino sets the stage for LFA 211. Tucked in the heart of the southern tier, where the air is crisp and the punches land harder, a new bantamweight queen will arise. In the main event, Brazilian powerhouse Bia Mesquita looks to add LFA gold to a trophy case already bursting with world titles in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Dubbed the BJJ Lady Goat, Mesquita has made a rapid, ruthless transition to MMA. And now she's just one win away from royalty. Standing across the cage, Canada's own Sierra Dinwiddie, a clinical striker with ice in her veins and fire in her fists. The Queen of the North has laid waste to every challenger in her way, and she's coming for the crown. Also returning to the LFA Octagon, former flyweight champ Cody Davis. Blazing fast, Uni Turbo Nukuta. Submission phenom Giovanna Diamond Canuto. And former lightweight kingpin Jacoby Big Toe Jones. From the Seneca Allegheny Resort and Casino in Salamanca, New York, LFA 211, live on UFC Fight Pass.
Coming up at the top of the hour, LFA 211, Bia Mesquita and Sierra Dinwiddie, both fighting in their first ever MMA title fights. Both come in undefeated with a spotless 4-0 record.
Really exciting matchup between two undefeated individuals. Bia Mesquita only has been doing MMA for a short amount of time, really hitting it hard with 1 year, 4-0 as a mixed martial artist. 15-time world grappling champion, brings aggressive style to the LFA Octagon, unpredictable strikes, punching her way in, ultimately taking her opponents down, finding a way to get to their back, get to a submission, and finish him. Now, she's been working hard and has challenged herself. She's getting ready for 25 minutes of fighting, learning to be more patient. Also needs to close the distance against this individual, a tall 5'11", Sierra Dinwiddie, who has been doing MMA her whole life, training Muay Thai, training Jiu-Jitsu, went pro 2023, uses her attributes, long arms, long kicks, and if her opponents get close, she uses her knees, takes away the boxing from them. She's not scared to wrestle her opponents, and she's looking, though, to defend the takedown.
Co-main event, Aljo, you know this man very well. Bumi Nakuda, you've trained with him for many years.
My guy, Bumi, the Turbo Nakuda, man, he comes out guns blazing, super fast hands, light on his feet. He got great body punches. You see it right here, him going for that. Great takedowns, very, very well-rounded. I think he even has a key lock submission, and he's taking on a very, very tough dude in Cody Davis, man. This guy is a phenomenal fighter, great pressure, great wrestling, and this guy just does not quit. He has a really good gas tank, and man, I think whoever gets this win, I think it's gonna be the one that's gonna be on the UFC's radar for sure.
This is a co-main event that could be a main event on most cards. Going to be very entertaining as the former flyweight champion Cody Davis comes back. One more LFA 211 preliminary bout to go, and we move into the welterweight division. The tail of the tape, powered by Bondi Pure. Farman, Hasanov, and Will Lewis. Hasanov is 29 years old. Lewis is 6 years older, an inch taller, and the reach is even on both sides. Both athletes made the contracted weight for this matchup. Should be an interesting matchup, guys. Welterweights getting the nod here to wrap up the LFA 211 preliminary action.
Yeah, always exciting to have this spot and this platform to be the last fight on the preliminary bouts. really opportunity to shine. You got an undefeated fighter versus man with one loss who wants to regain and get that momentum. Both guys, same reach.
Should be a great matchup. Let's get the official fighter introductions. We go inside to Mike Kendall.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds in the LFA Welterweight division, brought to you tonight by Bondi Pure, the ultimate daily health and detox drink. It's a science, not a diet. Learn more at BondiPure.com. And now, introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner. This freestyle fighter stands 6'1", weighted 170.8 pounds. He holds a professional record, 3 wins, 1 defeat, with 2 wins coming by way of knockout. Representing Kaizen MMA, fighting out of Falls Church, Virginia, Will Lewis. His opponent across the octagon, fighting out of the red corner, is a wrestler standing 6 foot tall, weighed in 170.6 pounds. He holds a professional record, 2 wins, 0 defeats, with 1 win coming by way of knockout. Representing Stout PGH, fighting out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, by way of Nakhchivan, Azerbaijan, Farman Hasanov. Your referee, Matt Rocca.
All right, we went over the rules in the back. Protect yourself at all times. Follow my instructions at all times. If you want to touch gloves, do so now and make your way back to your corners.
These guys are focused and locked in.
Well said, sir. Will Lewis. 1-0 inside the LFA octagon. Farman Hassanov, the Lion. 1-0 inside the LFA octagon. This is our final LFA 211 preliminary bout on the LFA Fight Network on YouTube. Hassanov fighting out of Pittsburgh, PA, but Azerbaijan, where the UFC will be tomorrow afternoon.
He landed a big overhand right there.
Lewis took it.
I think that got his attention.
Absolutely.
Wrestling base for Hasanov, master of sport in freestyle wrestling as well. 2-0, 1 knockout and 1 decision.
I love how Hasanov is just using that lead hand. It kind of just keeps it moving, kind of trying to distract him a little bit, and then he explodes into his strikes. I think he's looking for the takedown, though.
Lewis 3-1 record.
Lewis doing a good job with some footwork here.
Fast hands.
He's got to keep his feet off that black line. That's the danger zone, knowing that your back is about to hit the cage.
Correct.
Lewis 2 knockouts out of his 3 victories.
Yeah, I think that rear kick from Lewis will get the respect. Landed it nicely. Both guys settling in the center. Look for Lewis to start firing now.
Hasanov very patient, taking real estate, trying to corner him. That's a nice 3-2.
Ooh. Hit just the tip of the glove.
Man, Hasanov firing away.
Look at Will corralling Hasanov now. I think doing a great job with this footwork, letting Hasanov push forward, and as he settles in the center, that's Will's time to let go. Lewis, beautiful rear kick. Like to see him use that in the body.
Will doing a good job switching stances. He's back to the center. But Hasanov is doing it's pretty much letting the bigger power strikes.
Punching his way in, looking for a takedown, but Lewis able to fend it off.
Yeah, I think Lewis is doing a great job of recognizing when Hasanov is going to close the distance, and he gets on his wheels and moves intelligently. And yes, Hasanov throws some big punches, but Will knows, look, he's moving again. He knows Hasanov's coming. He's ready to snipe. He's ready to defend. Hasanov goes. Now he can settle in the center as Hasanov slows down. Now it's his turn.
And this is the best thing to do against a wrestler looking to take you down. You have to move your feet. I see time and time again so many young guys, they just go straight backwards and it makes the takedown so much easier for the offensive wrestler to get those takedowns.
Yeah, great point. And you could see Lewis as he's getting back. He squares up here. He shuffles side to side. He feints left, feints right. And his eyes are dialed in to the target at the same time. He's dialed in as he's making these movements.
Yeah, I think Hassanov, it keeps exploding, but I think he needs to just, as he's doing, cutting him off, corralling him, just land some hands, land some combinations, and get Lewis to stay put so he can land and get those takedowns.
That's the championship IQ there, making adjustments already, right? Hasanov needs to make those adjustments and recognize that mid-round.
Yeah, because most of those shots they're big, but they're glancing. Will looks like he's starting to get some confidence now.
Just past the minute point of the opening round, LFA welterweight division. Hasanov, red tape, and Lewis, the blue.
Yeah, both these guys, though, you know, one of these punches lands, it could just really shake things up, man. They're colliding, just hear the thumps. Thump, thump, thump.
That's another thing with those opposite stances, too, right?
30 seconds.
Lewis just missed with that elbow as Hasanov was coming in.
Very close round. I feel like if Lewis really wants to take this, he's got to do something to kind of show the judges that he's in control. He's moving well, but he's not really landing too much offensive attacks.
Clock winding down. And round number 1 in the books. Coming up at the top of the hour on UFC Fight Pass, the LFA 211 main card. If we have to go off quickly, Aljamain Sterling, it's been awesome having you join Gilbert and I here in the booth, man. Plug your rum one more time, my man.
Funk Harbor rum, baby. Great Jamaican rum, quality in a glass. Drink like a champion. FunkHarborSpirits.com. If I drink, I make sure I drink right. I don't drink none of that stuff with the additives and preservatives. I'm making sure I'm getting quality in my drink every single time.
Funk Harbor right there. What's the website?
FunkHarborSpirits.com. I'm an athlete. You know, gotta make sure I'm still taking care of the body even when I play and have some fun. Gotta be responsible.
We breaking that open after this third round? I guess we gotta call main card. I don't know.
Yeah, he said it. Too healthy's unhealthy, man. Let's get a drink.
I've never been accused of being too healthy, but there's a first time for everything.
And some fantastic insight too, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Second round action. Farman, Hasanov looking to remain undefeated. Will Lewis looking for his 4th win in 5 tries.
You know, I think Hasanov might have edged out that first round, but I really think Lewis got more data, more information, and was looking to get more momentum and is figuring things out.
Couldn't tell if that was a headbutt or
yeah,
a
it was
slip.
Close.
Yeah, they collided there. Forcing the takedown is
he wants that takedown.
Oh,
He sure does. Beautiful sprawl so far.
Huge moment.
Man, that was big by Will Lewis, and the fans here in New York appreciate it.
Like, keep the fight standing. We want to see a stand-up fight.
Absolutely. I mean, that was a major takedown defense from Will Lewis.
Yeah, huge moment for Lewis to shut that down, and both guys, you know, their energy bars just a little drained after that exchange, but look at those game faces.
I was going to say that.
Look at those game faces. They're looking at each other right dead in the center. I'm good.
Sometimes I train with my guys, and when they go for a big takedown, they don't get it. I tell them right there. It's like, that cost you something.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to go on the offense.
And I think that's great advice for Will right there. You know, he defended that takedown, and I know it took some energy, but it's on him to change the momentum and actually steer the ship a little bit more. That was a Jamal Hill and Pereira moment right there, man. He got close on Lewis and snuck one in, man.
Everyone's doing that these days.
Yeah, heck yeah. I'm circling out now.
I do think it would be wise for Lewis to start attacking that body for sure. He's having a hard time landing up top.
I hear his corner yelling for knees, especially when Hasanov comes in for that takedown. Might have an opportunity.
Just take a little more risk. A little more risk from Lewis. He needs to let his hands go a little three at a time. Land a kick. You know, Hasanov took the risk. I give him credit for that. He might have not got the takedown. Oh, he gets it this time.
Gets the takedown from half guard now with Will Lewis on his back as we're coming up on the midway point of round 2.
And that's what I think. It's like if you know you're fighting a heavy pressure wrestler, you know you're going to get taken down. Try to do damage on the feet before you get taken down to at least score and hopefully do enough damage where you can kind of deter him or you can put pennies in the bank so that it pays off into the later rounds.
Couldn't agree more. Can't just sit and wait to get taken down.
Because then you do nothing.
Exactly.
Hasanov doing a great job with that shoulder pressure. Keeping Will Turner. I hear his cornerman telling him to get the left hip on the floor, but Hasanov is just denying him. That shoulder pressure looks mean. And now he's got the full mount.
Oh, full mount and raining down some heavy hands is Farman Hasanov. And the back flattens him out. Will Lewis in trouble. And that's
this is it.
Wow. Will Lewis disagrees, but Farman Hasanov remains undefeated.
You see the raw emotion out of Hasanov.
You saw Will Lewis disagrees with the stoppage, but those were some heavy shots being thrown by Hasanov to end this fight in the 3rd round.
Yeah, I think Hasanov was in control, maybe on his way to victory. Well, he was victorious, but I would like to see Lewis was building up his base and maybe he get flattened out once, twice. You got to allow a guy to try to fight and go out in his shield. That's just my opinion. I'm a fighter here.
I think so. I agree with that. Could have given him a little bit more opportunities, but here Lewis tries to defend. Hasanov does a great job getting on that single, then dumping it, running the pipe, and right here is the beginning of the end. He gets this great shoulder pressure that just keeps Lewis just stuck in motion where he can't do anything. And then from here, he flattens him out, starts landing some big shots, and that's all she wrote. Hasanov gets it done. Big finish. Look at that.
Another
physical
finish.
specimen.
Yeah, he is, man. He is massive. Remember the name, Farman Hasanov.
Bilal, remember the name?
Yeah. You got to give that up. Remember the other name, and we'll go with that. But Hasanov improves to 3-0. Let's get the official time. Here's Mike.
Ladies and gentlemen, your referee, Matt Rocca, calls a stop to this fight. 3 minutes, 28 seconds into the 2nd round, declaring your winner by TKO, Farman Hasanov.
Make it 3 wins in a row for the LFA's first athlete from Azerbaijan, Farman Hasanov remains unbeaten in his professional career. That's going to do it for the LFA 211 preliminary fights. Gilbert Melendez and Aljamain Sterling joining us tonight. Aljo, great job, man. I hope to do this again.
I hope so too, Ron. Thank you guys for having me. This was fun. I haven't done it in a long time, but I had a great time with you guys. Calling these fights, talking shop.
Smooth as your Funk Harbor run, my man.
Yes, and of course I got to go change like Clark Kent and get ready for Pumi's fight. Got to go help him in the back room, and hopefully we go out there and get the job done.
Can't wait for it. Going to be a huge main event. That's going to do it for the LFA 211 preliminary bouts on the LFA Fight Network. For Gilbert Melendez, Aljamain Sterling, Mike Kendall, I'm Ron Kruk. We will see you over on UFC Fight Pass at the top of the hour.
Welcome to the world of the wild side.
The biggest combat sports organization on the planet is taking Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu to a whole new level.
It's rounded. No one can just run away anymore.
16 of the best grapplers in the world have come to Las Vegas for a tournament unlike any other.
So stoked right now.
Guided by 2 superstar coaches, 5-time world champion Mikey Musumeci.
Yes, yes, yes!